Hey there and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw a shadow from Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm going to get started in the middle of our page with a curve for the upper part of the muzzle. Starting from the left side, I'm just going to curve up and over towards the right. Going across like that. Now on the end here, I just want to draw an oval for the nose, and it's going to overlap this little line here. So starting in the middle at the top, circle around, and then back up. On the left side here, I just want to draw a smaller oval for a highlight. On the side there, and on the right side here I'm just going to color this in black. I'm going to take this point here and curve outside of the muzzle down toward the chin and then back up underneath this nose. So starting up here, curving up and out toward the left. Now we're going to pull this down and then across and up underneath the nose. Over on the left side here we're going to draw the mouth. So we're going to start with a little curve that goes down and in. On the end, I'm just going to draw a little bracket on the edge of the mouth. Now let's layer the eye in behind the muzzle. Starting at the top of this curve, I'm going to curve up and then come down on top of this curve here. Starting on the top here, we're going to curve up. I'm going to pull this down at an angle. And as I get towards the bottom here, I just want to flick it up in the inside for the frown line, just curving upwards. Now we're going to draw a little bit of an edge here. So we're going to start on the side, going up and over the eye, and then back down. Let's draw on the opposite side of the eye. So at the top of this curve, we're going to step over, we're going to curve up and out. Curving up and out to about that height. I'm going to take that point and curve that back in behind the nose. Curving down so it gets a little bit wider as you get down towards the nose. Let's layer in the iris and pupil. So right in here, we want to draw an oval. Starting at the top, curving down towards the bottom of the muzzle, and then back up towards the top. On the top edge here, we want to draw a little circle for a highlight. Like that. And in the middle of the iris, we want to draw in the pupils. So it's a long oval, little tiny oval on the inside. We'll color that in black. Let's draw a little bit of the iris and pupil on the right side here. So it's basically a half oval right here. Come down towards the top of the muzzle, pull that back up. We'll draw the little pupils. So in here, just going to draw another half oval, a little tiny one, and fill that in black. Let's go above the eye and draw a little brow line. So just up here, we're going to follow this curve, going up and then down and towards the middle and then pulling it back up. Starting on the side, we're going to go up, come down and towards the middle, and then just flick it back up. We're going to draw the outer edge of the brow on the right side. So from this point, we're going to step up, curving around the eye and just pulling that back in towards the side. Over here on the edge, we just want to draw a little highlight edge, just curving out. From the top part of this brow, I want to draw the curve for the top of the head that goes up and out towards the side here. But about halfway, we want to draw in the ear. So I'm going to locate the end, curving across to right here. I want to aim towards the inside top edge of the brow. Starting here, we're going to curve up. We're just going to stop just above this eye. We're going to overlap this with a curve. So stepping down, curving up and in. Now we'll go in the opposite direction, curving down on the opposite side. Now I want to continue this curve on the opposite side of the ear, curving down and right to the top of that brow line. Let's add the inner ear here. So right in between these two lines, we're going to draw a little curve that goes across, leaving a little space. Now I'm going to take this point and just follow the ear up to the top and then down on the opposite side. Now down here, we're going to draw the ear tucked in behind the head. So right here, we're going to curve out towards the right. Now I'm going to pull a straight angled line back in. At the bottom of the chin here, I just want to draw the back side of the head, just a little curve that goes up on the side. So at the bottom of this curve, I'm going to go up and out. There's a little trim that comes down the center of the head here. So we're going to start just beside the ear here. We're going to follow this curve, but we're going to get a little bit wider as we come towards the middle here. Starting up here, we're going to curve in behind the ear, and we're going to continue this curve down and aiming towards the middle, right down here. From this point, we're going to curve up and out towards the side of the head. Let's continue drawing the spikes in the back of the head here. So from this point, I want to curve back, so it gets a little bit wider as you come back. Now it's going to be a short curve that comes in to right about there. Now we want to overlap this with another spike. So we're going to step back and overlap this with a diagonal line coming across. From this point, we want to go up in an angle, going up and out towards the left. Now we're going to curve this back down, curving down here. Now we want to go across with a short line, across to right about there. Now we want to draw another set. So coming down with a diagonal angle, so overlapping that line, so we're going to step up, angling going across. We're going to go back. So with a straight line, going back across. Now this is going to make its way back in behind the head here. So we're going to start at this point. We're going to curve down towards the bottom. Towards here. Now before I tuck this in behind the head, I'm going to have to draw in the arms that overlap. So let's go into the center of the body and draw that little tuft of fur. So underneath the chin on the left side, just below the eye, I'm going to curve down and in. In the front here, we're going to go in the opposite direction. Curving down and in to the same height. Now we're going to draw a straight line that goes out on either side. Going out. Now we're going to curve these back in. Now from here, we're going to curve down. A short curve on either side. Now these 2 points are going to make its way in towards the center. So we're going to curve these downwards. In and then down. The same thing on the right side. Now let's draw on the top part of the arm. So from where this tuft of fur meets the chin, we're going to curve out and then down towards the left. On the right side, we're going to step down just a little and do the same thing. We're going to curve down and out towards the same height. Now on the inside part of the arm, we want to draw that same curve, but we're not going to go all the way up to the fur. We're going to step over, curving in, leaving a little gap there. Now let's draw in the cuff of the sleeve. So right here, we're going to overlap these two lines with a curve that goes up and then down. We're going to angle these in with a short line, coming in. Now we're going to draw a little ring around the wrist. So we're going to start by drawing a curve that goes up, touches this line, over towards the right, and then back down. So it's a little hook. So starting down here, we're going to curve around, and then down. Let's connect those 2 points with a curve. It goes across like this. Now let's draw on the fist. So from this point on the right, we're going to do a half circle, curving around like that. On the end, we're going to draw a little bracket. Now at the bottom of the thumb here, we're going to swirl around for the first finger. Just swirling around the bracket and then up. We're going to step down, draw another curve going up for the second finger. Now the third one's going to go all the way around towards the edge of the wrist. Going up like that. Now that we have this arm in place, we can finish off this spike. This is going to go curving up in behind the arm. Curving up to there. Let's add a couple highlight edges to these two spikes. So from this point, I'm going to angle down. I'm going to pull this line right up to this point here. Let's do the same thing up here. Starting at the tip, I'm going to come down so it tapers wider, and then we're going to pull that back up towards that point at the top. Now let's draw the spike on the back side here. So we start right underneath the nose with an angled line coming out, and we're going to go straight across. And then we're going to curve this back in behind the top of the arm. Curving back in like that. We're going to draw a little highlight edge here. Stepping over from that line, we're going to angle down. Now we're going to take this point and just angle right up to the point of that spike like that. Let's go ahead and draw on the sides of the body. So from this point in the arm, we're going to step over towards the left and just curve down and around the arm towards the top of the boot. Starting up here, curving around the arm, around the hand, and then just down below the hand here. We're going to do the same thing on the right. So starting underneath the tuft of fur here, we're going to curve down, but we're going to go a little bit wider as you get towards the bottom. Curving out towards the right, and then pulling it down. I want to make sure that they're at the same height. Now I'm going to overlap this line with a curve for the edge of the boot. Stepping over towards the left, curve across. We'll do the same thing on the right side. That same length curve that goes across like that. Now we're going to draw the inside of the legs going up towards the lower torso. So from this point, we're going to step over towards the left and just follow that curve all the way up to right about there. It's about halfway up the body. From here, we're going to curve across towards the right side. We're going to overlap this. We're going to step back a little and then just curve the inside part of the right leg, just coming down to this curve so there's a little overlap here. Let's go back up and draw on the right arm. So we're going to start with the inside part of the arm first. So we want to make sure that the thickness of the arms are the same from left to right. So underneath the fur here, we're going to curve down towards the same height. We're going to overlap these 2 points with a curve for the cuff. Now we're going to come in with 2 short angled lines, coming inwards. Now we're going to draw that little ring like we did on the left side. Starting down here, we're going to curve around, touching that line on both sides, and then back down. Let's just close this gap off here. We're going to close those 2 lines with a curve that goes across. Now let's draw that same fist. We're going to flip this over. Starting on the left side of this point, draw that little half circle. Going around. And at the end, we're going to draw a little bracket. At the bottom of the thumb, we're going to swirl around the bracket and pull that back up. You're going to step down, draw another hook for the second finger. Now the third one's going to go all the way around in towards the wrist. Going up like that. Now there's one spike that comes down in between the arm and the body here. So we're going to start just beside the arm on the inside, curving down. Now we're going to taper this back up behind the body, going upwards. Now we're going to add the little tail. So this curve of the lower torso is going to continue on towards the tail. So right here we're going to curve up towards the hand, and then again we're going to taper it back out so it gets wider as we come back in towards the body. Let's go down and draw in the boot. So we're going to start on the left side with the cuff. So from this curve we're going to step up and curve in the opposite direction outside, just going past that point. Do the same thing on the inside. Now we're going to angle down and in with two short lines coming down. We're going to connect those 2 points with a curve. Goes across. Now we want to draw that ring around the boot cuff. So from this point, I'm just going to circle around and then over towards the right side. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So from this point, we're going to step up and curve around that tip. Do the same thing on the right side. Now we're going to angle down and in. Close this off at the bottom with a curve, and then from these 2 points we're going to connect it with that ring. So circling around, down towards the bottom, and then back up on the right side. Let's go back to the left side and draw in this boot. So just underneath this curve here, we're going to curve down and out towards the left. From here we're going to curve the top of the foot, going up in the opposite direction. So from here we're going to curve up and over towards the left. We're going to take that point and just tuck this in underneath the ring. So curving back in. Right up in here, we're going to add a little trim. So underneath this curve down towards the bottom line. Now we're going to add in the sole. So from the back point right here where the ring meets this curve, we're going to draw a curve coming down and out towards the left. We're going to angle downwards, down, and I'm going to pull this straight back up underneath this curve. I'm going to take this point at the bottom and just angle back out towards the left, going up like this, so it gives it a little bit of shape. From this point, I want to angle down again. I'm going to curve the front, curving across. Now we're going to go out in an angled line, going up and out. We're going to go out in an angle again, so we're going to start from here, going up, and then we're going to curve back towards the toe, curving back in. Now I'm going to take this point here and curve the front of the toe down to this point here, so curving across and then down. Right in here, we're going to add a circle, right in the toe. And then right in the middle, we're going to draw in a little black spot, a little circle like that. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Starting underneath this curve right here, we curve down and out towards the right. Now we're going to curve the top, curving across towards the right. And we're going to pull this back in towards the top of the foot. So right up here, underneath this ring. Now we're going to add that little trim. So at the bottom of this curve on the ring, we're going to curve downwards. Let's add in the heel. So just like we did on the left side, we're going to start right here and curve down. We're going to angle across towards the right, and we'll pull this straight back up underneath this curve. Now from here, we're going to angle out towards the right underneath the foot right here. Now we're going to do the same thing here. So from this point, we're going to angle down and forward, and curve towards the front of the toe, curving across like that. Now we want to go across the bottom, going up. From here we're going to angle up again with a hard turn, and we're going to curve towards the top of the foot, so right here, curving across. Now for this edge here, we're going to start from this point, curve across, and then down to this point, curving up and then down. Right in the middle, we're going to draw a circle, and then in the center we're going to draw a smaller circle and just fill that in black. We're going to finish this off with a few more highlights. So on the arm on this side here, at the cuff, we're going to step over towards the right and just taper a curve going up along the arm. We're going to do the same thing along the leg here. So starting on the side of the hip, we're going to curve down towards the boot cuff. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Shadow from Sonic the Hedgehog. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send us your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.